All right, we've finished here with deck 5. It is now time to go on to our next deck. We're going to do deck 2. So I'm going to bring up a new window. We're going to start completely from scratch on this one again. It's a different sized deck, and so we're going to need some different settings. So again, we're going to set everything to pixels. And our width here, this deck is 22 meters wide. So with a 1 meter on each side of it, that would be 24 meters, and or 24 squares, and therefore we're going to need a width of 1680 at 70 hexes per, or 70 pixels per square. And our height, the deck's 9 high originally when I drew them. This is one of the decks that got adjusted when I actually did the 3D model, so it's actually going to be 10 high for this deck. There's some other ones that are the same, so we're going to go 10 plus 1 on each side is 12, which gives us a height of 840 pixels. And we'll go back here and center this up. And we will start again by making this our grid layer and put the grid in. So again, over here, extensions, render, grids, Cartesian grid. And in this case, we have 24 on the on the x-axis is 24. It's 12 on the y-axis. And 24. Can't type. Okay, and I hit apply, and it thinks, draws our grid, and we did everything right. It looks good. Okay, the other thing we need to do is come in and put our Inkscape grid in, our little blue square grid, and you can see it doesn't line up. We're a little bit bigger, so it doesn't quite line up as well on this one. So we'll be zooming in and out a little bit to position things. So we're going to start by zooming in. So all I have to do is one little square here. So we want to actually, let's back out for just a second and make a new layer, and this is going to be our hole. There are no windows, portholes on this one, so we're just going to draw the hole in and call it good. So let's see, we start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in from the edge, 4 in from the edge, and 1 up. So we're going to start right there on this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 up. So we're going to start here. We're going to go up 3. And then it is a total of 4 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh, I already messed up somehow. Oh, because it's only 3 wide. So Control Z, it's only 3 up. Right here. Here, 1, 2, 3. And then holding down the Shift key and the scroll wheel scrolls horizontally, in case you're wondering how I'm doing that. And we just put in our lines and scroll over, and we'll close the hole out here. All right, and it made it gray like we wanted to. We're now going to go make the stroke, put it back to pixels, and remember our hole is 8, so we're going to thicken that up. Zoom back out. All right, so there is the default hole, and I'm going to save this. In fact, I'm going to relabel this as hole 1. Because I've got 2 other decks that are the same size, 3 other decks that are the same size, and so I'm gonna need that hole shape for the other deck. So I'm gonna save that as hole 1, and then I'm going to duplicate this layer, duplicate the current layer, and I'm gonna call it hole 2 because this hole got extended a little bit as I was making and then I'll turn off the whole one layer. As I was making the 3D model, I realized I had some more room. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? Let's do a save as, and we will go up and find where it needs to go. Let's see, ships, history's hope. Why is it not there? Oh, because I'm on my thumb drive and not my computer. Let's see, libraries, documents, Star Frontier, ships, history's hope. And we're going to call this one, this is deck 2. Actually, I'm going to save it as deck 4, crew deck. And that's the one we're going to need later on. And then I can get rid of this second hull layer because I'm not going to need it anymore. So let's delete that. Minus, get rid of it. And then let's just resave it. And then I'm going to do a save as, and oops, yeah, crew deck. I should have called it rec deck or something, common deck. I'll rename it later. But this is going to be deck 2, and it's going to be, I'm going to call it science deck. This has got, this deck's going to have our work pod, it's going to have our small lifeboat, it's going to have our lab, hydroponics, and our like exploration equipment, ATMA probes, landing drone. Those are all on this deck. All right, so here we are. Now I need to extend the deck out, and the parts that got extended are, oops, I gotta zoom in so I'm on the right grid here. And I'm just gonna draw in some boxes. So it's 3, 4 wide there. We got an extra meter on that section. And then back over here, 1 in from the edge. We've got one that is 6 meters wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And draw those in. And then I'm just going to select all of these and come up here and go object, or actually path, and do union, and that extends, makes it a single object. And that's my extended hull for this section. So I'm also going to lock the grid so I can't move it, and now lock the hull so I can't change that one either. And we're going to create a new one that's going to be our rooms. It's going to be our room layer, rooms layer. And this is where I'm going to draw on the walls. And we're going to start by putting our elevator in. If you've seen the, oh, and we got to move the grid up above the hull. If you've seen the 3D model, you may notice that the decks aren't symmetrical, like one side of the ship's flatter than the other. That's to line up the elevator with in all the decks and have it still against the outer edge of the hull, actually, along those decks. And this one we decided the elevator is white. And then our stairwell, in fact, oh, and we forgot to change the walls back down to 6. Do that here too. And while we're at it, we're going to run back over to the other deck and grab that ladder. And make that a group. Control C. And come back to our new one. Zoom in and paste it in there right here, and then we'll grab it up where it belongs. There we go. There's our ladder. We'll come back and do the doors in a minute. Okay, so let's start putting in the other rooms that we're going to put in, and these ones are just going to stay gray, so I'm going to set the fill to nothing on these, and this one is actually our Oh yeah, I gotta zoom in just a little bit. This one's our backup computer. This is the work pod bay. This is the Atma probes launch bay. There's actually two of them here, one on top of the other. And all right, and then I'm just going to draw a line in here down to here and cut this in half. We're going to zoom in a little more so that I can get it right in half. Each of these two rooms, the top one is the landing drone launch bay and the bottom one is the remote probe launch bay. And then we've got a big room on this level, and actually the majority of this level. Actually, let's go ahead and draw a line in first over here. There's a line that goes across like this. This is the lab, a research lab that goes, it's part of the exploration ship. And then finally, we draw a line across here. That puts this big area down here is actually the life support system. It's the hydroponics bay where they grow all their food. And then we have one more room to put in, and that is this room here. And I keep forgetting to go all the way to the top. That's okay, you just grab this and move it up there. All right, and this is where our small lifeboat lives. So we are going to, now that we've got that, let's go ahead and put in, let's make a layer for the doors. And put the doors on. So again, we're going to want to be zoomed in here. Or no, we want to be zoomed out at this level. So our computer, and again, we're going to, here we're going to set the fill to white. And we're going to drop the stroke thickness down to 4 for the doors. I don't remember if I did that on the other room or not. Here's our ladder well. Here's our elevator. And the elevator gets a little dividing line because it's a two-piece door that opens up. All right. Let's see. The lifeboat and the work pod bay have pressure doors, so we'll go back and get our pressure door in a minute. The landing drone, you can actually get into, that's going to get a pressure door too. The remote probe and the landing bay, they actually get external doors. So I'm going to, it's about 3 meters, 3.5, almost 4 meters wide. So I'm going to actually draw the door. Oops. I'm going to draw the door here. I want it 3 meters wide. And then I'm going to zoom in. Yeah, and right there, put a line across it. And then grab that, make a group out of it, Control G, and then I'm going to rotate it 45 degrees. And bring it in and put it across that. So the landing drone launches out of there. I'm going to copy it, put it here, and we'll just do a mirror. That'll get it the right direction. And move that one in for the remote probe. All right. Then we have a similar door here on the for the in fact, I could have just drawn this one and then used it. It doesn't look like it's in the right spot. It's not. Escape. It should be here. Alright, there we go. back out. Let's see, and our hydroponics bay actually is going to have a bunch of little doors going in. There's going to be wrong tool. Alright, it's going to be right here's one. And then one across from there. Another one right here. And then finally one in over here. Alright. And then we have a door into the lab. And you can see there's not a way into the remote probe and the Atma probes. Oh, I forgot to put the launch door on the Atma probe. It goes right here. Those are only accessible from outside the ship. So those are reloaded. Those are expendable, and so they're reloaded when you're back at port. The landing drone you can actually get to. It's going to get a pressure bay door. So let me go grab the pressure bay door from the other deck, because we have one on there. Wait, it's not this deck that we put it on. It's on the other one. File, opens in the cargo bay. So let's go. This PC documents. See, I have a lot of documents here. Star Frontiers, ships, History's Hope. I'm actually doing these on a much larger screen than what you're seeing. I actually have a 4K screen that I'm working on here, but I'm just displaying part of it. So I expand this out. I can see it, and there's my pressure bay door. Grab a copy of that, and minimize that one, minimize that one, and we're gonna zoom in and go Control V. There's one. Control V. There's two, and let's rotate it. Pressure bay door there. For the small lifeboat, the door is right here. Rotate. And I think that's it. Let's zoom back out. We got everything. Door into each of those rooms. Okay, so there's our doors. Oh, no. I need the opening bay door for the small lifeboat. So let's go again, grab here, and all right. So there's our doors. Now we get to start filling these things in. So I have a, let's see, documents, textures, icons. These are all my little, here's our work pod. And it made it gigantic again. So here is the work pod. And turn the grid off. And I think it's a bin. Yep. So let's just make a copy of that. And close that. Close without saving. And we're going to put the work pod in here, and then we've got to scale it up because these were all originally drawn. Hold on. Let's go. Furniture. Can't spell. Call it furniture. But I apparently did not make a copy of the work pod. File. Thought I did. Open recent work pod. Let's do that again. And big old black screen for you guys. Bring it back in here where you can see it. That's strange. Control C, copy. Let's leave. Let's not close the window now. All right, and Control V. There it is. Okay, obviously. Escape. What did I just do? This should just be 3 meters across. So obviously, it's actually bigger in this case. Yeah. So let's just cut it in half. No. We'll just scale it down. Interesting that I did that. So this one is just under 3 meters. It looks like I did it at drew this one at 100 meters per x per square. So let's just 270 divide 1.4 times. So this should be 189. Gotta lock it. 189. There we go. There's our work pod to scale. And it doesn't quite fit that way, but that's okay because we made it longer. It'll just go in sideways. All right, so there's our work pod in its bay. Looks like a little spider or something. But there's our work pod in the work pod bay. Now I'm thinking I want to go look at a picture. I think these bays I make a different color. So let's go Documents, Star Frontiers, Ships, and I don't have the Night Wind here. I'm gonna have to go find where I put that. All right, so let's look at the Morning Glory and Engineering 1. Here I had the rooms all white, and I think I'll leave them gray for now. I might come back and change those later when I start doing the final versions of these. But there's our work pod. We're going to draw in our Atmo probes, and I'm going to do that like this. I'm going to go here, and I'm just going to draw them in as like a little rocket. And this is just going to be a silhouette, so I'm going to set the fill to black. And then I'm going to come in here and take this one and make it a curve, but bring that in. There we go. All right, so there's our Atmo probes in their little launch bay. And I really have no idea what a remote probe or landing drone look like, so I'm not going to put anything in there. But we need to get our small lifeboat. So let's go look back at my texture options. Documents. I think I have one in there. If not, we'll go find it. I know I have one in another. Lifeboat. Large lifeboat. Alright, I don't. So, I have to go remember where I have a, because I know I've drawn a small lifeboat. Because the big lifeboat has 20 seats, the small one only has 10. So I need to find that. I need to save out the rest of my icons there, obviously. Alright, let's do a save while we're going to do that. Let's go search through my files. Documents, Star Frontier, Ships. Alright, the Dart's too small. The Assault Scout's too small. I'm going to guess that the Morning Glory's got one. Let's look at... No, dang it. That's not what I wanted. get rid of this. Close without saving. All right, that's not the one I want. There's the large lifeboat. Another large lifeboat and some work pods. Those are escape pods, more large lifeboats. There they are, small lifeboats. This is on the, oh, this is a small launch, but it works as a small lifeboat. Large launch, but it works as a small lifeboat too, because it holds 10. So let's go to the ship's vehicles on the Morning Glory. Actually, if that's that, it could be this one right here. Where is the text? Go back to textures. Documents, textures. I'm going to there's a way to pin this over here, but oh well. Not going to worry about it. Icons. Let's look at this large launch. Yep, that's the one we want. There it is. So there's our small lifeboat or large launch. We're just going to make a copy of that. And we're going to come over here and we're going to place it here in the bay. I'm going to flip it around because I want it aimed at this direction, so you come in here and climb in. And let's move it up just a little bit. And there we go. There's our small lifeboat tucked away on this deck of the ship, allowing for us to escape later if we want. The only other thing that I have really that I'm going to put in is I draw computers in red. So I am going to put this computer here. It's red and its thickness on the edge is going to be 2 there. And then the other thing I want to do is get a computer chair, get a chair and put it in this room because there is a terminal. So go grab one of our chairs from this deck. Oh, right. Control-Shift-G, ungroup. Why is that not ungrouping? What layer are we on? Furniture. Oh, I've locked the furniture deck. Okay, there's why. Ungroup. Grab me a chair. Nope, not you. Not you. You. Control-C. Minimize that. Here. Paste it in. Zoom in. Wrong button. Control. And it actually sits over here, and we're going to move it down so it's underneath the console. There's our backup computer. Okay, so the lab. Let's go ahead and put in, we're going to put in basically a desk, bench, all the way around the edge of this. So let's go, we'll draw it in, then I'll go grab the color. We're going to go here. Nope. Control-Z. Got to zoom in just a little bit. There we go. Escape. So we'll go around the outer edge. It's going to go all the way around. And then we'll come in here. Alright, and we don't want it to be red. We want it to be the color of a table. I really should just write these down. It's that color. and probably come up with a more web-friendly palette, but that's not as big of a deal in this day and age. And then go to fill and stroke. There's our brown. Now this still looks a little thin to me, so I'm going to go here to the nodes and pull it over one more there, and one here, and one there, and one there. All right, that gives us our two. So we've got a workbench all the way around the lab. I'm going to put a table here in the middle. And then I'm going to move that over like that. And then I'm going to grab some chairs and put them in here too. Oh, why are you down? Why are you up? There we go. All right, Control C. And then I want 3 chairs. 1, 2, 3. Let's take this and send it to the top. All right. 3 chairs, table. I'm going to move this back over one more. It's kind of tight in this lab, but that's okay. Let's move over one more. So I can put it back right there. And in fact, I think what I want to do is come here, pick you, object to path, and then put in a diamond here, and just cut the corner off there. There, gives a little bit more room to get around that table there. All right. All right, there's our lab area. If I was really ambitious, I would draw microscopes and stuff and put them on there, but I'm not that ambitious. These are really schematics. They're not fully detailed designs. So the other thing, I'm going to have to come back and come up with something to draw for a remote probe and a landing drone. But we will worry about that another day. But let's put some structure stuff into our hydroponics lab. So we're going to I think what we'll do is we'll do it like this. We're going to put in what are really tall shelving units. These are the hydroponic tanks. Actually, hold on. We're going to do this differently. We're going to go all the way around. Here. All right. And then we're going to put some more. This one I can just use. These are just going to be rectangles. So what did I do? Change layers. Yeah, this should be on the front. Oh no, did I? Oh good. I didn't accidentally move to a different layer. All right, I'm going to put in another one here. Another one here. And then a big long one here in the middle. All right. And then let's see if I have some shrubberies. If not, I'll go grab them from the Rose Garden map. Let's see. Chair, bed, bathtub, sink, sofa, stove, toilet, treadmill, vanity, work pod. Nope, not here. Trees and shrubs. None of those really match the style of this. So let's go here, and if we go maps and rose guard here, let's look at this map for a minute. Although I think this is where I used, yeah, those shrubberies. So maybe I don't want to do that because it doesn't really match the style of this map. Those are some trees. Yeah, let's not do that. Okay, so what I will do then is there's another map I could do, not that one. Actually, let's not do it that way. Cancel. Let's, I know a map that does have them, although considering how I made them, it might not. It's not in this directory, is it? No, where did I put it? You know what? I'm not going to worry about it. Oh, you know, it's probably here. Port Lauren map. Yep. Port Lauren. Everyone should recognize this map when it comes up. Alrighty. Anybody recognize this map? Alright. What I want, though, is my shrubberies. And I have no idea what's going to happen when I import it here, how big it is. Oh, it's small. Okay. Let's scale that up by... That's almost too dark. Let's see if I lighten up that center section. There we go. Alright, so see, I'm not even sure I'm going to like this. In fact, I know I'm not. Okay, I'm just going to leave it that way. This is going to be, this is where these would be hydroponic tanks where all our plants are growing. I thought I'd drawn some plants, but I don't think so. Alright, so that's the deck. We're done. We've got our lab here. Probably come back and come up with something to drop in here as a picture for the landing drone. Maybe I'll sketch a lunar lander and put it in here. And the same for the remote probe. The remote probes are just basically fancier versions of these Atma probes. They can go more distant and more robust, so they're a little thicker. But there's our science deck. So let's save this. Then let's export it. Page. Export as. Why it won't just do it in the directory I'm in, I don't know. Let's go here. Deck 2. Science deck. Alright, and export that. And then we can double check it. Make sure we're happy with it. And there it is. There's our science deck. Alright, we're good. I might come in and change this life support room because I realize it's also supposed to contain the machinery, the pumps and stuff. So I might section off part of this to be machinery later. But that's good for now. Alright. And we are done with this video. We'll come back and do a new video on the next layer.